The story begins in the future city of Columbus, in the year 2045. By this time, poverty has spread everywhere. Most people now live in stacked trailer homes. Life in the real world has become extremely difficult, but despite the harsh reality, technology has advanced in surprising ways. For example, pizza is delivered by drones, and almost everyone spends their time escaping into a virtual reality world called Oasis. The Oasis is a massive multiplayer VR universe where people can do almost anything they want. Players can create their own avatars, make friends, explore countless planets, and live a life far more exciting than the real world. Inside Oasis, there are many different planets. One of the most popular places is Planet Doom, where constant battles take place. Players can fight other avatars there and earn money, weapons, and powerful items. But there's a huge risk. If a player dies in the game, their score resets to 0, and they lose everything they earned. Because of this, many players become extremely attached to the game, and losing can leave them completely devastated. The Oasis was created by a brilliant programmer named James Halliday. In 2025, he released the first version of Oasis with his partner Ogden Morrow. The game quickly became a global sensation, making both of them incredibly rich. However, a few years later, Ogden Morrow left the company. After that, Halliday became the sole owner of the biggest tech company in the world. People practically worshipped him, because through his game, he had given humanity a new way to escape reality. But on January 7, 2040, James Halliday suddenly passed away. Before his death, he left behind a mysterious video message. He revealed that he had hidden a secret Easter egg somewhere inside the Oasis, and whoever finds that Easter egg will inherit $500 billion worth of company stock and full control of the Oasis itself. But finding the Easter egg wouldn't be easy. To reach it, players must first find 3 hidden keys, created by Halliday's in-game avatar, Anorak. Each key can only be obtained by completing extremely difficult secret challenges. Halliday also warned that only the players who truly understand his life and think differently will succeed. Because of this announcement, millions of players began searching for the keys. But even 5 years after Halliday's death, no one had managed to find even the first key. Now we meet the main hero of the story, a 19-year-old boy named Wade Watts. Wade lost his parents when he was very young, so now he lives with his Aunt Alice. Unfortunately, her boyfriend doesn't like Wade at all. Because of this, Wade usually escapes to a small hidden room he built inside a junkyard van. This is where he logs into Oasis. When Wade puts on his VR headset, he enters the game using his avatar called Parzival. Today he's heading toward a famous racetrack, because according to Halliday's clues, the first key is hidden inside this race challenge, but the race is extremely dangerous. In fact, no player has ever managed to win it. That's why very few people even attempt it anymore. Wade is part of a group known as the Egg Hunters. His closest friends inside the game are Iech, Daito, and Sho. However, Wade has never met any of them in real life. During the race, players from a powerful company called Innovative Online Industries, also known as IOI, are also competing. These players are called Sixers. IOI is the second largest company in the world, and they manufacture Oasis equipment. They desperately want to win Halliday's contest so they can take control of Oasis. The head of IOI is a ruthless businessman named Nolan Sorrento. IOI even has a massive research team constantly studying Halliday's life, hoping to find clues to beat the challenges. Before the race begins, Wade meets his friend Iech, who saved him a starting spot. But Wade has very little fuel left, so instead of rushing ahead, he stays near the back to collect coins from crashed cars. Then the race begins. Hundreds of players speed forward at full throttle, but the track is filled with deadly obstacles. Cars crash everywhere, and many players are instantly eliminated. Wade carefully collects coins from destroyed vehicles and uses them to refuel. As he pushes forward, things get even crazier. Suddenly, giant dinosaurs appear and begin attacking the racers. Then a massive King Kong-like gorilla jumps onto the bridge. During the chaos, Iech's tire explodes, leaving him stuck. Now only 2 players remain near the finish line, Parzival and a mysterious player named Artemis. But just as Wade is about to reach the finish line, King Kong jumps forward and destroys the bridge. Wade has no choice but to slam the brakes. Meanwhile, Kong hides beneath the bridge, waiting. Because Artemis is approaching from the other side, Wade realizes she's about to crash, so he grabs her hand and pulls her off her motorcycle. A moment later, King Kong crushes the bike in his giant fist. Artemis is shocked and frustrated. Her bike is completely destroyed, but Wade secretly likes her, so he tells her that his friend can fix it. He then brings her to H's workshop. H is a brilliant mechanic who builds all kinds of incredible machines, and inside his workshop, there's even a giant robot, the legendary Iron Giant. Wade starts showing Artemis all the amazing things inside H's workshop, but H quickly stops him, not wanting Wade to reveal all his secret creations. Artemis hands over her damaged motorcycle so H can repair it, and while waiting, she begins talking with Wade. During their conversation, she realizes something important. Wade is actually a huge fan of James Halliday, so she asks him a simple question. If you win the Easter egg, what will you do with all that money? Wade answers honestly. In the real world, he has big plans. He wants to buy a massive mansion and finally live the kind of rich life he has only dreamed about. But Artemis has a completely different goal. She says she wants to protect the oasis from IOI, because if they take control, they will ruin the entire world. Then she reminds Wade of something. He stopped her from winning the race. Wade quickly explains that he only grabbed her because King Kong never lets anyone cross the finish line. It's almost like a rule of the game, but Artemis shakes her head. She says something very interesting. Holiday hated rules. Just then, A-Ship finishes repairing her bike. Artemis takes it and tells Wade something confidently. She says she will win this game, and she'll be waiting for him at the finish line. Then she leaves. Wade can't stop thinking about what she said. If Holiday hated rules, then why did he design the race like that? Determined to find answers, Wade travels to the Holiday journals, a massive virtual archive where all of Holiday's memories are stored. Inside this place, players can watch moments from Holiday's life in fully interactive 3D recordings. With the help of the curator, Wade decides to watch footage from an office party in 2029. In the memory, Holiday is arguing with his former partner Ogden Morrow. Morrow believes they should add rules to the game so players won't get addicted and can live normal lives, but Holiday refuses. He says something important. He hates rules. And suddenly Wade realizes something. Holiday may have hidden a clue inside this memory. The clue suggests that sometimes, instead of moving forward, you should go backward, as fast as you possibly can. At that moment, Wade finally understands the secret. To win the race, you don't go forward, you go backward. The next day, the race begins again. Artemis pulls up beside Wade. She can tell he looks confident, so she asks if he discovered something. But before Wade can answer, the race begins. All the players accelerate forward, but Wade does the opposite. He suddenly slams the accelerator and drives full speed in reverse. A hidden path opens behind the starting line. Wade's car drops down onto an underground track, and from there, the road is completely clear. No dinosaurs, no collapsing bridges, no King Kong. Wade drives straight through and reaches the finish line without any obstacles. Suddenly, the legendary avatar Anorak appears. He congratulates Wade and says, "You are the first player to finish this challenge." Then he awards Wade the first key, the bronze key. Wade is overwhelmed with excitement. Before disappearing, Anorak also gives him a clue about the second key. Because Wade won the challenge, his avatar jumps to first place on the leaderboard, and his account instantly receives 100,000 coins. Now Wade and A-Ship head to a shop to buy new gear. First, Wade purchases a holy hand grenade. Then he buys a powerful item called the Zemeckis Cube, which can rewind time inside the game for 60 seconds. Finally, Wade spends a huge amount of money on something incredible, the IOI X1 haptic boot suit. This advanced suit is delivered to him in the real world, and Wade is extremely excited, because this suit makes the game feel incredibly realistic. With it, players can actually feel every touch and movement inside the oasis. But while Wade is celebrating his victory, someone else is furious. When Nolan Sorrento, the CEO of IOI, learns that someone has found the first key, he loses his temper. He immediately enters the game and meets a dangerous bounty hunter named Iruk. Sorrento hires him to hunt down and kill Perry, because Perryzal is Wade's avatar name. But Iruk reminds Sorrento of something. Perryzal has now become a superstar inside the oasis, which means killing him will be much harder. So Iruk demands 3 times the usual price. Sorrento reluctantly agrees. Meanwhile, Wade's friends also discover the secret of the race. Soon Epshur, Daito, and Sho complete the challenge as well. Now the 5 top players on the leaderboard form a legendary group known as the High Five. Together, they begin searching for the second key. Wade reads the next riddle given by Anorak. It says, "A creator who hates his own creation. A hidden key. Take a step back. Escape your past. And in the end, the Jade Key will be yours. But solving this riddle will be even more dangerous." Wade quickly realizes something important. Holiday must have been trying to escape something from his past. So to find the answer, Wade returns to the Holiday journals. As soon as he arrives, players begin gathering around him. Because after winning the race, Parzival has become a celebrity inside the oasis. People start taking selfies with him and cheering his name. But suddenly, a terrifying monster appears and grabs Wade. For a moment, he panics, until the monster removes its disguise. It's actually Artemis. She laughs and tells Wade that now that he's famous, he needs to stay hidden. So she gives him a disguise, a pair of glasses and a suit, making him look like a Superman-style secret identity. Then the two of them go to the curator and start investigating Holiday's past again. They watch another memory involving Holiday and Ogden Morrow. Before becoming the CEO of IOI, Nolan Sorrento once worked for Holiday as an intern. But that's not the only thing they learn. They also discover that Holiday once went on a date with a woman named Karen. During that date, they watched a movie together, and afterward, Karen wanted to go dancing. Artemis suddenly recognizes the name, Karen Underwood. She later became Ogden Morrow's wife. Wade explains that this happened long before Karen and Morrow got married. But there's something strange. Holiday never confessed his feelings to her, and after that moment, Karen's name completely disappears from the Holiday journals. The curator says that can't be possible. Karen was clearly an important part of their lives, but Wade makes a bold claim. He tells the curator that he's willing to bet all of his coins that Holiday never mentioned Karen anywhere else besides that one video. The curator searches through the entire archive, and to his surprise, Wade is right. There is no other record of Karen Underwood anywhere in the journals. Wade realizes what this means. Holiday must have intentionally deleted every memory of Karen, which means that the secret to the second key must be hidden inside that one remaining memory. The curator admits defeat and gives Wade a coin for winning the bet. Then Artemis turns to Wade and tells him she needs to talk to him about something important. She asks him to meet her later that night at a place called the Distracted Globe Dance Club. Then she leaves. The curator smiles and says something interesting. She likes you. Later that night, Wade arrives at the dance club. The place is packed with players, and once again, people recognize Parzival and start taking pictures with him. But somewhere in the crowd, a woman secretly sends a message to Iruk, telling him that Parzival is inside the club. Just then, Artemis arrives. She's wearing a beautiful dress, and Wade can't help but compliment her. Hidden nearby, Iruk quietly listens to their conversation. Artemis explains something important. Holiday created this entire dance club for Karen because she loved dancing. Soon, the two of them begin dancing together. While they dance, Wade tells her something personal. He says he wishes they could meet in the real world. But Artemis warns him, if he saw her in real life, he might be disappointed. Wade smiles and says it wouldn't matter. No matter what she looks like, he likes her. Then Wade makes a mistake. He tells her his real name, Wade Watts. Unfortunately, Iruk hears everything. Artemis immediately gets angry. She reminds Wade that revealing real identities in the oasis is extremely dangerous. It can put their lives at risk. And just seconds later, IOI soldiers suddenly storm the club. Iruk has already sent them Wade's location. A massive fight breaks out. Artemis tries to protect Wade, but Iruk attacks them as well. Soon they're surrounded with no way out. So Wade activates the Zemeckis cube he bought earlier. Instantly, time rewinds 60 seconds. Using that short window, Wade and Artemis escape before the attack even begins. But outside the club, Artemis is furious. She tells Wade that this isn't just a game anymore. She's trying to stop IOI because real lives are at stake. Then she reveals something painful. Her father once owed money to IOI's loyalty centers because he borrowed gaming gear. He couldn't pay the debt back, so he decided to fight against IOI, but he never got the chance. He became sick and died before he could do anything. Now Artemis is determined to destroy IOI, but she says Wade is too distracted, so she walks away. Wade removes his gear in the real world, feeling completely crushed. Meanwhile, Iruk contacts Nolan Sorrento and reveals Wade's real identity. Parzival's real name is Wade Watts. Using this information, Sorrento contacts Wade through his Oasis device. He says he has an offer for him. When Wade connects, his avatar appears as a hologram inside Sorrento's luxurious office. Wade immediately notices Sorrento's advanced gaming rig. Sorrento tells him that if Wade joins IOI, he can have one just like it. He also promises him a luxury apartment in Columbus and access to all of IOI's technology. While Sorrento is talking, Wade secretly notices something important. He sees Sorrento's system password displayed on the rig. Then Sorrento gets to the real point. He wants Wade to find all 3 keys for IOI, and in return, he's willing to pay Wade $25 million. Wade is shocked by Sorrento's offer. $25 million is more money than he has ever imagined. For a moment, Wade actually considers it, but then he remembers something important. If IOI takes control of the Oasis, they won't just run the game, they'll control everyone inside it. So Wade refuses. He tells Sorrento that he knows IOI's intentions aren't good. Sorrento's expression suddenly changes. He coldly tells Wade that it doesn't matter whether he helps or not, because IOI will still get the Easter egg, and Wade won't live long enough to stop them. Then Sorrento reveals something terrifying. He knows exactly where Wade lives, Unit 56K. Wade instantly realizes the danger. His Aunt Alice is still at home. Panicking, he rushes back toward the stacks as fast as he can. But before he reaches the apartment, Sorrento's drones arrive. Within seconds, the drones fire explosives at the container homes. A massive explosion rips through the stacks. Entire trailers collapse and burn. Wade watches helplessly as the containers are destroyed right in front of him. He believes his aunt has been killed in the explosion. Wade returns to his van in the junkyard. He tries contacting Dato, Shu, and Artemis through the Oasis, but before he can reach anyone, someone suddenly grabs him from behind, and everything goes black. When Wade wakes up, he finds himself in a hidden resistance hideout. Standing in front of him is Artemis, but this time, she reveals the truth. Her real name is Samantha, and Artemis is just her avatar inside the Oasis. As they talk, Wade notices something. Samantha has a birthmark on her face. It's something she clearly tries to hide, but Wade smiles and tells her honestly. He's not disappointed at all. For the first time, Wade steps outside and feels the real world around him. Fresh air, real sunlight, and suddenly he realizes something. They've all been so lost inside the Oasis that they forgot the real world even exists. Overcome with emotion, Wade and Samantha share a kiss, but in that moment, Samantha suddenly understands Halliday's second clue. She quickly puts on her oasis suit and prepares to enter the game again. Then she explains her theory. Holiday loved Karen, and when they went to watch a movie together, he had the perfect chance to kiss her, but he was too afraid. He missed the moment, which means the second challenge must be hidden inside the movie theater where they watched that film. Soon, Wade and the rest of the High Five return to the oasis. They meet the curator, who shows them a long list of every movie Holiday ever watched. The list is enormous. At first, Samantha can't figure out which movie it could be, but Wade remembers the riddle, a creator who hates his own creation. That line suddenly gives him the answer. The movie must be The Shining, because the film was based on a novel by Stephen King, and Stephen King famously hated the movie adaptation of his own book. The curator sends them directly into the theater where Holiday watched the film, but once inside, they realize something strange. They only have 5 minutes to find the key. The environment suddenly transforms into scenes from the terrifying movie. H spots 2 girls and follows them into a hallway, but suddenly, the famous elevator doors burst open, and a massive wave of blood floods the corridor. H is swept away by the current. He grabs a photo of Holiday on the wall to hold himself steady, but it rips apart in his hands. Then things get even worse. Zombies begin attacking him from every direction. He barely manages to survive. Luckily, Wade and Samantha pull him out just in time. Before escaping, H manages to grab a photo showing Holiday and Karen together. Looking at the photo, Samantha finally understands the real clue. Holiday wasn't afraid of horror movies. He was afraid of romance. He was afraid to kiss Karen. Just then, Samantha hears music playing nearby. When they enter the next room, they see something bizarre. A ballroom full of zombies dancing, and among them, Samantha spots Karen. Without hesitation, she walks straight through the crowd of zombies. She reaches Karen and asks her to dance. Suddenly, the entire environment changes, the music stops, and the legendary avatar Anorak appears once again. He smiles and hands Samantha the second key, the Jade Key. The team has successfully cleared level 2. Samantha also receives a new clue about the third and final challenge. Back in the real world, Nolan Sorrento learns that Wade survived the explosion. Furious, he orders his assistant Fanail Zandor to hunt Wade down. Fanail quickly traces the location of the man who helped kidnap Wade earlier. Using IOI surveillance drones, she tracks him straight to the Resistance hideout. Moments later, IOI drones and soldiers attack Samantha's base. Samantha quickly helps Wade escape through a hidden exit, but she stays behind to distract the soldiers, and it works. The IOI agents capture her. Fanail coldly tells Samantha that her father left behind a massive debt. Because of that debt, she now belongs to IOI, and she will be sent to an IOI loyalty center, where thousands of players are forced to work off their debts as virtual slaves. Meanwhile, Wade escapes through the hidden passage and runs out into a dark alley. Suddenly, someone grabs him. For a second, Wade thinks he's been caught, but the guy quickly whispers, "Relax, it's me. I'm H.E." He takes Wade to a nearby van where they've been hiding. But just then, an IOI surveillance drone starts scanning the vehicle and slowly moves toward them. Before it can alert anyone, another guy jumps in from behind and smashes the drone to pieces. He introduces himself. "I'm Daito. My real name is Toshiro." He explains that they received Samantha's message, which is why they came to rescue Wade. And there's more bad news. IOI has already discovered the location of Holiday's third challenge, so the group quickly jumps into the van and drives away. But from a distance, Fanail Zandor notices them escaping. Inside the van, Wade finally meets Sho, who turns out to be only 11 years old in real life. Sho's real name is Zhou. Wade tells everyone that their first priority must be rescuing Samantha. Agip reminds him of something important. Wade already saw Sorrento's gaming rig earlier, and even noticed the password, which means they might be able to hack it. Meanwhile, Samantha has been taken to an IOI loyalty center. Thousands of debt prisoners are forced to work there. Inside the facility, Samantha is locked inside a loyalty pod, forced to play the Oasis as a virtual laborer. She tries removing her helmet, but it's locked in place. Escape seems impossible. Back inside the Oasis, Sorrento is standing inside a massive castle on planet Doom. An IOI officer informs him that Holiday's third challenge is connected to a classic video game called the Atari 2600. But there's a problem. Players have only 1 minute before the ice beneath them breaks, which means every Sixer player attempting the challenge keeps dying instantly. So Sorrento calls in Irok. Irok brings a powerful magical artifact called the Orb of Osuvox. This rare item can generate an incredibly strong shield. After chanting a spell, the orb activates and a massive force field forms around the castle. Now no one outside can reach the final challenge. At the same time, Wade and his friends successfully hack Sorrento's rig. Inside Sorrento's office, they appear as if they're standing right in front of him. They point a gun at him and demand to know where Samantha is. Under pressure, Sorrento reveals the loyalty pod number where she's being held. Using that information, Wade contacts Samantha. He tells her they hacked Sorrento's rig. Samantha explains something critical. The Sixers already know where the third challenge is. It's inside the castle on planet Doom, and IOI has surrounded it with a powerful force field. The shield can only be disabled from inside the castle. First, Wade tells Samantha to escape her pod. He explains that there's a hidden lever above her seat. Samantha removes the cover and pulls the lever. Instantly, her helmet unlocks, and the restraints release. She's finally free. Meanwhile, Sorrento suddenly realizes something something is wrong. From a reflection, he notices the hack. He rips off his headset. Now he knows the entire meeting was an illusion. Furious, he storms into the control room and demands answers. That's when he learns that Samantha has escaped. But Samantha hasn't actually run away. Instead, she disguises herself as an IOI employee and sneaks directly into Sorrento's rig room. From there, she learns the exact spell needed to deactivate the Orb of Osuvox. Back inside the Oasis, Wade arrives on Planet Doom. He activates a global broadcast across the entire Oasis. Millions of players watch as Parzival speaks. He tells them, "My name is Parzival. I was the first to find the bronze key, but our future is in danger." He explains that IOI has broken every rule to win Halliday's contest, and if they take control of the Oasis, they will turn it into a corporate prison. Then Wade calls on every player to fight back. Oasis players begin arriving on Planet Doom to join the battle. Even H activates his ultimate weapon, the massive Iron Giant suit. Meanwhile, Sorrento enters the Oasis again, but when he sees the massive army forming against him, he becomes furious. Wade has united the entire Oasis. Now the final battle begins. Wade and his army charge toward the force field protecting the castle, but the shield is unbreakable. At the same time, Samantha secretly reaches the Orb of Osuvox inside the castle, but a guard is standing nearby, so she sends a small drone bot toward the orb. Then she speaks the spell she discovered. Instantly, the force field disappears. Now the battlefield explodes into chaos. Millions of players rush forward toward the final challenge. IOI soldiers and giant robots attack to stop them. A massive war breaks out across Planet Doom. Samantha finally reunites with Wade in the middle of the battle, but then Sorrento unleashes his ultimate weapon. He activates a gigantic robot, Mechagodzilla. The machine is incredibly powerful. Within seconds, it destroys the Iron Giant, leaving H severely weakened. And now the final battle for the Oasis has truly begun. Now the battle on Planet Doom becomes even more intense. Daito activates a giant robot transformation and charges straight at Mechagodzilla, trying to stop Sorrento. For a moment, it looks like he might actually win, but Mechagodzilla is simply too powerful. Within seconds, Daito's suit is destroyed and returns to normal. Mechagodzilla grabs him in its massive hand and burns him alive. His score resets to 0, but the fight isn't over yet. The Iron Giant and Samantha attack Mechagodzilla together. At the perfect moment, Samantha throws a bomb directly into Mechagodzilla's cockpit. A massive explosion erupts and Mechagodzilla is destroyed. Meanwhile, Wade and Sho rush toward the castle bridge where the final challenge awaits, but Irok destroys the bridge before they can cross. Just when things look hopeless, Aish arrives and starts throwing them across the gap. However, Irok opens fire on the Iron Giant. Sho jumps forward and attacks Irok, slicing off one of his arms. Thanks to Sho, Wade and Sho successfully reach the other side, but the Iron Giant loses its balance and falls into the lava below. The Iron Giant is gone. Back in the real world, Sorrento realizes that Samantha has infiltrated his own team. He starts searching for her immediately. Wade knows Samantha is in danger, so he tells her to leave IOI at once, but Samantha refuses. So Wade does something shocking. He destroys her avatar inside the Oasis. That forces Samantha's system to disconnect, which safely pulls her out of the IOI network. Outside the facility, H and Daito's team pick her up in their van. Meanwhile, inside the Oasis, Wade and Sho are still fighting their way toward the final challenge. IOI soldiers attack them from every direction, but Wade pulls out the holy hand grenade he bought earlier. The explosion wipes out all the enemies. Finally, Wade reaches the old arcade machine where the final challenge must be played. They notice an IOI soldier already playing the game, but even after he wins, the floor suddenly collapses and he falls into the ice below. Watching this carefully, Wade realizes something. The goal of this game isn't to win, it's to explore. Halliday once said that the key was invisible and hidden inside a dark room. So instead of rushing through the game, Wade starts searching carefully. But just then, Sorrento and Irok arrive. They capture Sho and hold him hostage. Sorrento gives Wade one last offer. If Wade joins IOI's team, he'll give him $50 million, but Wade refuses again. Angry, Irok hands Sorrento a terrifying weapon called the Cataclysm. This weapon can erase every avatar inside the Oasis. Sorrento warns Wade. He knows how important this competition is to him, but Wade still refuses. So Sorrento activates the Cataclysm. Wade tries to stop him. He even kicks Sorrento away from the device, and the two start fighting, but Sorrento falls directly beside the weapon and presses the activation button. Suddenly, a massive shockwave spreads across the Oasis. Every avatar, every player, every army on Planet Doom is instantly erased. Within seconds, the entire Oasis becomes empty. Even the high five disappear from the leaderboard. It looks like the game is over, but then something incredible happens. Parzival suddenly respawns. The coin the curator gave gave him earlier was actually an extra life. Sorrento is stunned. Meanwhile, in the real world, Ferrando manages to track H's van and informs Sorrento. Sorrento immediately drives a truck toward them to finish the job. Back in the oasis, millions of players are still watching Wade through the live broadcast. Now Wade continues the final challenge alone. Instead of trying to win the game, he treats it like a true adventure. Eventually, he discovers a hidden dark room inside the game, and when he reaches it, he finally completes the challenge. Suddenly, the wizard avatar Anorak appears once again. He hands Wade the third key. Now Wade finally has all 3 keys. A giant door appears in front of him. One by one, Wade inserts the bronze key, the jade key, and the crystal key. The door opens, and Wade enters the final Easter egg room. Inside, Anorak congratulates him and tells him that he only needs to do one last thing. He must sign a contract. If he signs it, he will become the owner of the oasis. Anorak hands Wade a pen. Wade is about to sign the paper, but suddenly he stops. He remembers something important. James Halliday once made the same mistake. He signed a contract with Ogden Morrow that eventually left him as the sole owner of Oasis, and that decision ruined their friendship. Wade realizes this is a final test, so he looks at Anorak and says, "I won't make the same mistake you did." Anorak smiles proudly. Wade has passed the final test. Suddenly, Anorak disappears, and James Halliday appears in his real form. The environment around them changes. The room slowly transforms into the small childhood house where Halliday grew up. Halliday then shows Wade something important, a simple switch. With this switch, the entire oasis could be shut down anytime. Halliday explains why he created the oasis in the first place. He admits that in the real world, he never felt like he truly belonged anywhere. He never understood how to connect with people. Making friends was difficult for him, so instead of facing the real world, he escaped into the oasis, and eventually his whole life ended there. Halliday tells Wade something important. He hopes Wade will understand the difference between escaping reality, then he finally gives Wade the ultimate reward, the Easter egg. But at that exact moment in the real world, Nolan Sorrento crashes his truck into H's van. The van stops violently. Sorrento jumps out and points a gun directly at Wade, but when he looks at Wade's screen, he realizes something. Wade has already found the Easter egg. The game is over. Just then, police cars suddenly arrive and surround the area. Sorrento is arrested immediately. Finally, Wade removes his VR glasses. Standing in front of him is Samantha. This time, Wade doesn't hesitate, because he doesn't want to make the same mistake Halliday made, so he kisses her. A moment later, someone unexpected arrives. It's Ogden Morrow himself. Wade and the others are completely shocked to see him. Morrow congratulates Wade and tells him that from now on, he is the new owner of the oasis. He hands Wade the official papers, but Wade surprises everyone. Instead of keeping the oasis for himself, he says he wants to share it with his friends. The High Five will run the oasis together. Morrow smiles, clearly proud of Wade's decision. Now the whole world sees them as heroes. Curious, Wade asks Morrow something. "How did you find us so quickly?" Morrow simply hands him a coin, and suddenly, Wade understands. Morrow was the curator inside the holiday journals all along. Now he joins Wade and the team to help run the oasis properly. Soon after, IOI collapses, and the loyalty centers are shut down forever. No more players trapped in digital debt prisons. Finally, Wade and his friends make an important announcement. The oasis will now be closed every Tuesday and Thursday, so people can spend time in the real world and live their actual lives, because the real world is still the only place where you can truly feel alive. And now Wade and Samantha are finally together, with their friends beside them. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to hit subscribe and share this video with a friend who loves movies as much as you do. And tell me in the comments, which movie should we explore next? Thanks for watching.